How's it going, guys? In today's video, we're going to be talking about the top 10 players to watch in our week 1 matchup against the Miami Dolphins. I did this all during the preseason, but we're going to start doing it during the regular season, which is getting a little bit more real. So we're going to talk about all sorts of players today that I'm looking forward to watching. Actually, my top 10, matter of fact. But before we get straight into things, be sure to like the video, leave a comment down below with your thoughts, add some insight, things of that nature, and subscribe for the best Patriots content on YouTube. Thank you so much for your time. Let's get straight into things now. We're starting out with number 10, Quinn Norton, and I thought about making him higher on the list, but I feel like he's going to be pretty good. I know he had that one preseason game where he missed a bunch of kicks, but I have faith that there's a reason that he's our starter, and that's probably that he's pretty darn good. He seems to have nice distance. It's just kind of like the clutchness. Like, he seems to get a little nervous and then, have some wide misses. That's going to need to stop ASAP, obviously. Let's just move right on to the number 9. Nelson Aguilar, and a lot of the free agents are going to be on this list for week 1 because expectations are high. We spent a lot of money on these guys, and all eyes are going to be on them to make sure that they're up to par. Same thing with the early rookies. I'm going to have them on here as well. A little bit of a spoiler alert there, but whatever. First off, Nelson Aguilar. He's lower on the list than the rest of the free agents because I actually expect him to have a relatively quiet game. Obviously, he's going against Xavier Howard, which is going to be one of the tougher cornerbacks he's going to have to go up against as our number 1 wide receiver. So I do expect that they will try to match him one-on-one. He's obviously a deep threat. They're going to put their best cornerback just kind of there to try to shut him down. I expect them to really ease Mack Jones into the system week 1 and, give him some shorter passes. If he gets a deep open look, I'm sure he's going to take it, but they're going to focus primarily on the shorter game, build the confidence, focus on the running game, defense, things of that nature. Nelson Aguilar, I don't think will be too much of a factor week 1, but hey, I could be really wrong. That's why he's number 9, though, because I'm not expecting him to, expectations aren't high week 1 for him. That's what I'm trying to say. Number 8, Christian Barmore, and look, there's a chance this guy doesn't play. I expect that there's a chance he's the starter. I also expect there's a chance he's very situational, like 50-50, 50% of the time, for the most part, he should be on the field at least. But you never know with Bill Belichick. He might just not play for literally no reason. Number 7, Matt Judon, and this one's obviously huge because he's one of the big free agents, the biggest free agent on the defensive side of the ball, at least, that we brought on, and expectations are high. Look, listen, the Dolphins' starting left tackle, is out for this upcoming game. Their offensive line already is bottom 5 in the league, if not the worst, without their starting left tackle. I went over that in yesterday's video, which if you haven't seen it, check it out. It's really cool. But if they're going to have a nice pass rush, if these guys are really going to get after the quarterback, it's this week. All right, there is no better opportunity to get to a quarterback than this week for this defense. And the only other time that might even come close is the final game of the season against the Dolphins again. And even then, I doubt their left tackle will be out, or, any of the other offensive linemen maybe, but I don't know. But there's never going to be a better opportunity than right now. So pressure is pretty high for a lot of these defensive linemen like Christian Barmore, Matt Judon. In my opinion, I really want to see them get after the quarterback, obviously, and prove their worth. Number 6, another player that has a lot of pressure on him this week, J.C. Jackson, because he has to be the number 1 cornerback. This is a big prove-it game and a big prove-it season for J.C. Jackson. He can get interceptions. Nice. Turnovers are nice. Can you be a difference maker and shut down wide receivers? I don't think he's proven that yet. He's proven that he can be a ball hawk, which isn't everything. I really want to see J.C. Jackson prove to this organization that he can be a true shutdown cornerback, and obviously this is his 3rd year. He should be improved. Looking at your 3rd year, you shouldn't be going downhill already. It should be on the up. So we want to see some improvement from J.C. Jackson. Obviously, there is the chance that Stephon Gilmore comes back week 6, but at this point, we can't be relying on that happening. We need to be prepared to play without Stephon Gilmore, which really brings some question marks at cornerback number 2, Jalen Mills. I've heard he might be out for this upcoming game, which might put Jawan Williams in at that number 2 cornerback spot, and that is really interesting because we haven't gotten to see him play at all. That would be very interesting, actually, matter of fact. But yeah, J.C. Jackson's going to need to lock up at least his half of the field. Otherwise, we can't really be relying on the number 2 cornerback, which is a massive, massive question mark at this point. This is the only position where it is kind of a worry here. Number 5, another free agent, Jonnu Smith. The tight ends, I talked about in yesterday's video, again, a very cool video, that these tight ends have favorable matchups. I don't really think the Dolphins have players to match up against both our tight ends, especially if they do a two tight end set. They might have one guy on there that can kind of do some work against one of the tight ends, but if we put both of them out there, what are you going to do? I mean, seriously, what are you going to do? That's why I feel like they should do the two tight end set. That's a weakness on the Dolphins from what I was able to gather, that they don't really have people that are in a good position to cover our tight ends. Either they're too small or they're not good enough in coverage and they're big enough. But there's really no player that has both on the team. And I think this is a big opportunity for both the tight ends. Speaking of both the tight ends, number 4, Hunter Henry. And obviously, this is the same thing here. So if we get the two tight ends on the field, this is a big opportunity. It's just like the defensive line, like I was talking about. This is going to be one of the easier weeks for the defensive line, if not the easiest week. I think this is going to be one of the easier weeks for the tight ends to get involved, so they better do it pretty early on. Now, the only other possibility that I will mention is that obviously sometimes it takes free agents a while to build that chemistry with the team and get it together. Obviously, last season was harder for teams to get it together with no preseason. They have had the preseason and all of the offseason and everything. So who knows if there will be kind of a free agent slump with just trying to build that chemistry or not, but that is a possibility that they might not play to their best this week. It might take time. Number 3, Dante Hightower. He's back. He wasn't here last season. He is back. Number 3, because he is getting up there in age. I want to see him be that quarterback of the defense. I have a lot of faith that he can do so. But all eyes are going to be on him as he's back on the field. I'm certainly going to be watching, and I hope that he's on the same level of play that he was back in, how long ago was it? 2019, the last time we even saw him play. I'm very, very excited for that. Number 2, Damian Harris. We just traded away Sony Michel so that Damian Harris could be the starter. A lot of pressure is probably on him. You know, this is going to be his first season where he's expected to be the starter for the entire season. I have a lot of faith and a lot of confidence that he's a very talented player. He's Pro Football Focus's number 2 ranked running back in the league based on last season's statistics. Let's see if he can even get close to those numbers. I mean, honestly, it would be amazing if he could be a top 5 running back in the league or even a top 10, because I don't think that's where expectations are around the league. I know he's very talented, and I think there's a really good possibility he's a top 10 running back in the league. And we're going to be watching him during this game, obviously, to see how well he can run. The Dolphins, they have a pretty decent defensive line, but our offensive line is amazing. You know, top 3 in the league, probably the 3rd place. I think the Browns have a better offensive line. I forget what other team I think has a better offensive line, but definitely the Browns have an amazing offensive line as well. Regardless, we have a very good offensive line. Damian Harris should have an easy time against whatever team it is, at least getting some good runs. So we want to make sure, and we want to watch and see if he can really be productive, regardless of the circumstances. Number 1, I think this is obvious. This was the case through the preseason, and now it's going to be the case pretty much through the regular season too, because Mack Jones is our starter. He is number 1 on this list because he's really been thrown into this situation, and all eyes are certainly going to be on him, not only amongst Patriots fans, but I think amongst Dolphins fans as well, as they obviously don't want Mack Jones to be good. I think everybody, except for us, are scarred from Tom Brady, and they're just really hoping we never have a good quarterback again. I think we found ourselves a good quarterback again, and that everybody's going to be really upset about it, because many teams have a lot of trouble finding that guy. So it would obviously be a slap in the face to a lot of teams if we just went right and found an amazing quarterback effortlessly like that. It fell right to us. But for some reason, you know, Mack Jones with his accuracy, poise, everything, I feel like he is that guy. But all eyes are going to be on him. This is a big week against a good defensive backfield, and really, he has a lot to prove this week. Obviously, we can expect rookie mistakes throughout the season, multiple, but, you know, in the Patriots system, we've seen people like Jacoby Brissett come in, rookies that don't make those mistakes. They're not quite as productive as a veteran, but they don't make those rookie mistakes. So Mack Jones, I think we expect less mistakes than most teams would with a rookie quarterback, but there will be interceptions, there will be fumbles, there will be dumb moments throughout the season. That's to be expected, but we just expect more good plays, more smart plays, more touchdowns than interceptions, things of that nature. That's where the expectations are. If he throws 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, that's a success for a rookie. Let's be real. I mean, as long as that ratio is good, I feel like, you know, if he throws 10 interceptions on the season, 20 touchdowns, that would obviously be quite a, you know, not that many touchdowns, but that ratio is a good mark for rookies because some rookies come in here and throw more interceptions than touchdowns. So we got to keep that in perspective. Anyway, that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what your thoughts are on this top 10 list here. Let me know if there's any players you would subtract or add or move up or move down. Let me know down below because the comments help me out so much and I love talking to you guys as well. Be sure to smash that like button like I said before. This channel has been doing amazing and it's mostly due to you guys actually liking the video and commenting and subscribing and things of that nature for me. So I appreciate it so much. You don't even know. Be sure to subscribe if you do like my Patriots content for sure, because I'm going to be bringing these nearly daily. I miss a few days here and there, but I try to bring it nearly daily. And we've been on a pretty good streak here since the preseason started. So I'm really happy about that. Be sure to subscribe for more awesome content. I'll see you guys in the next video.